I agree. A sense of safety is the best vaccination against negative mental health issues. So hire more school police officers. Thank you for the layup. My name is Gil Gomez. I'm the president of the LAUSD School Police Officers Association. Let's talk healthcare. Last week, I took my daughter to UCLA Hospital for a checkup, and she's doing great. And at 7:30 in the morning, I saw, while I was waiting by the elevator, I was sitting down and I saw a woman a little older than I am, African-American woman, tall with a mask on, walking frantically towards the neurology department at UCLA. And she was frustrated because the door was closed. And she sat next to me and said, if they told me to be here at 7:30, I'd expect them to be here on time. And she was frustrated, and I said, don't worry, UCLA is in a four-way tie to be the #1 hospital in the state of California, tied with Cedars-Sinai. And she smiles and she says, I go to both of those. And I smiled back, and of course I was trying to comfort her because she seemed a little frazzled. She said, I'm 87 years old, and I'd had a great career. I didn't get paid much, but my health care is phenomenal. And I said, oh, you were a teacher? And she smiles and starts laughing, and she says, yes. I go, where did you teach? She says, for LAUSD. I said, wow, your employee number, because she told me she was 87, must be 002. She says, no, sweetie, it's 001. So as we say, she says, I worked at a place called 450 North Grand. I said, I know the place. We started talking. She was talking about, she got distracted, which was great, and we got into our conversation. And she asked me what I did, and I said, I'm a police officer for the school district. And then she says, how do you know that UCLA is #1? I said, well, I do negotiations too. That's what I do on the side, not to kind of downplaying my efforts. So she starts talking about her granddaughter who's has her bachelor's and she wants to be a teacher and she works for a school district. She says she's 99% perfect, but these young kids don't know how to speak to their elders. I said, I'm old enough to understand that. So her name was called. She told me not to leave. She wanted to finish our conversation. And she came back and we spoke a little further. And we're doing negotiations at the same time that we're doing healthcare negotiations at the same time that we are doing salary negotiations. And everybody knows that the return on investment for being a teacher is teaching children and making a huge difference in people's lives. And they understand that they don't get paid as much, but the unions take care of them in a way that's seriously life-saving, such as having the best health care in town. So in closing, I was proud of myself for making her feel better about her, obviously. She was nervous in regards to going to the neurologist, but as I was driving home, I realized she was put in my path to make me feel better and to create pause and help me understand life a little bit better. I was open-minded enough to be able to pivot. So be thoughtful in regards to our healthcare contract. I'm not going to belabor the point, but that was just a beautiful exchange. And we do have family in here right now that's normally not in here. So I'd just like to share that with you. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Are there any other labor partners